My childhood dream probably wasn't to grow up to be a diplomat. I don't think that I ever imagined myself being an ambassador of the United States. I think at first I hoped that I was going to go into something like theater or acting, and then I changed my mind and thought about being a lawyer, and then after going to university I decided I wanted to get into foreign affairs. I had done a study abroad program in the United Kingdom and really liked the experience of living overseas and decided to become a member of our diplomatic corps. I really enjoyed school very much. I was one of those kids that other kids probably made fun of for enjoying school and liking to go so much. But I also very much enjoyed it when we would get what we call in the United States snow days, when it snows enough that the schools are closed, and that was always a great celebration, a lot of fun to be able to stay home too. Before becoming ambassador to Latvia, I was our Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for North and Central Europe. So I had some familiarity with Latvia because it was one of the countries in the portfolio of responsibilities that I had. But it's been wonderful to actually be here and spend some time here and get to know the country and the people even better. We very much want to work with Latvia on topics of education. I view one of my tasks as U.S. Ambassador to encourage education by Latvians in the United States, and also generally greater people-to-people exchanges, because the best way for us to understand each other is for people to get to know each other and have these different experiences. We also have American students coming to study here in Latvia at various levels. We have some students here under or some teachers here under our Fulbright exchanges. We have, last year we had 3 high school students studying in Latvian high schools, and those types of programs are wonderful, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to make even more of them. Well, I think as we were just talking about, people-to-people exchanges are really key to that. One of the great things that happened last year was that we were able to bring Latvia into the visa waiver program, which means that Latvians that are just going for travel and tourism in the United States can now go to the United States without having to get a visa. And we're hoping very much that this will promote more travel by Latvians to the United States. We're also hoping very much that Latvian youth will take advantage of study opportunities in the United States. In the area of higher education, we have over 2,000 universities and colleges with a great diversity of opportunity. There are colleges that are large, that are small, that specialize in education, that specialize in economics or agriculture. So pretty much there's something for everybody, and I very much hope that Latvian youth will take advantage of that and come to study and learn in the United States. That's a great question. In the United States, we teach what we call civics very early on in the education for most of our students in most of our states. And this teaches children at a very young age about our Constitution, democracy, how important civic participation is to make a democracy work. It gets children involved in community service and non-governmental organizations, and all this helps build the strength and the foundations of a democracy. And I understand here in Latvia that there are similar efforts underway to try and get youth to understand very much that democracy is not just about voting, but also about becoming actively involved in your society. I think it's very hard to put an exact number on it. Our presidential elections last year, we had historic numbers of young people voting and participating that were of age to be able to vote in that election. But I think one of the great things that we saw was the use of new media in the electoral campaign. So there were many people that became engaged and interested via social networking sites, via via organizations that are counterparts to youth media and those types of things that brought more young people in. And you saw a lot of youth talking about our election campaigns and the issues that they cared about, even if they weren't old enough to vote, just getting interested in political issues. And that's something that I personally hope will hold in the United States. You know, I think all types of education are really needed because you never know what the next job sector is going to be that's going to be on the cutting edge. I mean, clearly sciences are very important, lots of technical knowledge, but the arts are very important as well. Study of government, as you were just suggesting earlier, is very important to making sure that countries function well. And that's another reason that I hope that many Latvian youth will look at opportunities, not just here in Latvia, but elsewhere, including the United States, because we certainly have a great diversity of opportunities, and we very much want to encourage young people to come and study in the United States. We actually have a summer work and travel program. That's another way that youth can come. If anybody's interested, they can get in touch via our embassy website with the embassy, and we can provide more information. And on study opportunities, we have an educational advisor that's located at the Riga Business School that can also provide information on these opportunities. I think I would go back probably and study about, one of the things that I always wish that I had more time to study was literature. And I think I would really enjoy going back and doing some studies of world literature, particularly having lived in so many different places in the world and not necessarily having had the opportunity to study those countries' literature. I think that would be a really fun thing to do.